whatever way you found me, you are here because you're meant to come here to the Chicago Rising Phoenix Mystery School Wellness Center. Come meet me. Come. You'll love it. You'll love it. Join us every 4 months when I host the retreats. Let me know if you have any questions, right, in the comments. Vast, the teachings that we teach over 1,000 years. 1,000 years. 1,000 years. If you guys have been watching the Lenten series, you know that's an inside joke. But over 1,000 videos been here. Well, perhaps they represent over 1,000 years quantumly in the fall of Atlantis, right? And what that happened there. But yes, I am the founder of Rising Phoenix Mystery School Wellness Center, which you see right behind me. I am also the author to Galactic Soul History of the Universe, which we might reference a couple times because it's all about aliens, you all. What's up? Aliens? Files? Unclassified by the U.S. Trump administration. I mean, that's huge. We'll talk more about that later, but yeah, we're going to be talking about some incredible topics today. And yeah, you can find the books under Amazon and Barnes & Noble and many other locations as well. We're also going to be talking about the Hantavirus, alien files, Trump in China, which is huge, an update on Charlie Kirk, and then about the United Kingdom. So the real news. Thank you for being here. It is an honor to be here with you. And to be delivering the real raw truth news. And thank you for being a vibratory match to understanding this content. So stay tuned, watch all the way to the end. Every single minute and second is going to be riveting, expansive, heart expansive. It's just going to really allow your mind to question and grow and raise that energy and vibration, activate those neurons so that we can just continue to grow as humankind on earth. Everything I do for assisting the children, because I know that if I assist and I help the adults like I have been for these 9 years, that I know that if I help the adults, then ultimately the goal is always to help the children. So thank you for being part of this transmission today. So much to talk about. I do have Gina here in chat. You can write your questions there live and I'll ensure to cover them. Thank you. Thank you. You like the dress? Yes, pretty. It's a pretty one. Made out of cotton. So pretty. Loving it too. Yeah. So what else? I host retreats, workshops. Quick intro. risingphoenixaurora.com is my website for all the information, and then you can go to aurapractitioners.com to find, that's my official Rising Phoenix Mystery School where we host our classes, and you could also find practitioners from around the world. I am the founder of A.U.R.A Hypnosis, which you might have heard of, entity removal, past life regression, as well as raw Reiki and quantum galactic Akashic reading. I host retreats and workshops live just about every Sunday. And then I am rolling out tea with Aurora. You all come drink some tea with me. I'll show you a little bit more about that later. That's going to be June. Is it June? The second Sunday of every month. Come join me. If you sign up this month before the month ends of May, so that's June 14th. If you sign up now to that membership, you can come meet me in person. You've been watching me, I'm sure, forever. So why not come meet me in person? And then you get to chat with me for about an hour, just kind of Q&A with me while we drink some organic tea. And then from there, the last hour and a half. So it's about 3-hour total event here in my wellness center in Chicago, in the greater land of Chicago. And yeah. Group regression for the second half of the event, or a hypnosis, which you could feel the clearing of anything dark energy, any attachments, people, it just depends on what you're ready for, but it will be a profound healing, and then you can regain some of your memory through the past life memory, which is what all the books are about. These alien files that they're releasing, I mean, of course we told you so that they were real, is going to be epic to be able to. So if you want to find out, if you just kind of delved into it and you're like, wait, what, they're real? I mean, I'm sure you didn't, but I mean, here's probably close to 1,000 pages of data retrieved from people's consciousness and minds about the alien races. And yeah, we'll talk more about that. And incredible. My next retreat is going to be in September. Hope to see you there. Come get Aura, Hypnosis, and Raw Reiki so you certified so you can walk your most organic timelines. Thank you. Let's get started, you all. What's up? And we always start off with a little song. Let's see what we got going on here. It's not really a dancing song. I like dancing songs. Let me get you another one. Oh, 2 butterflies. On my window. Come on, Desmond. What's up? All right. Where do we go, you all? There's so much to cover, right? So much. Let me make sure my mic is good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Okay, let me know if it's too loud, but it should be good. Okay. So, I have so many series going on right now, right? And this will be a continual one always. If you definitely watched me back then when the COVID pandemic was happening, then you know that I was covering every week the truth about the vaccine and all that. So I guess we'll start it off with that. So what's going on with the Hantavirus? You're going to hear different stories, right? What really is it? Is that something that we need to worry about? What's going on? So when we look at that, okay, pull up some of the information that we have here. Okay. What I could tell you is that you're going to hear like different information, but the original information that I was told was that the ship took off, went into the ocean from Argentina, Antarctica area, okay? And then basically they stayed supposedly on board for some time, and then they let them off in Spain, out of all places. Which is very interesting for me personally, but you all know I was just there in Argentina and Antarctica area. It does feel like they're basically freaking out at the elites, the New World Orders, the dark aliens that I've been talking to you guys about that are real, right? For forever. I mean, not just this life, other lives as well. And so they're panicking. They don't know what to do, so they decided to make this another pandemic. Now, what I could tell you is that they really did worked hard at it, like how they did with the COVID. They were testing it out actually in military bases in the Antarctica region, okay? Which is very interesting. I want to say, we don't consent to you haters and trolls. Keep it, don't even bother. So very interesting that they are releasing it from out that area when we also had the eclipse that happened there, total eclipse in Antarctica area. Actually, I was there when it happened to see the partial. I wasn't able to go all the way down south, right? Because they don't let you go deep down. In case you don't know, I went on a cruise there, right, to Antarctica. And you could check out that series that's happening. I Survived Antarctica. It's an incredible series. All right. So let's look at it quantumly, like I always do. I remote view the truth, and as always, only source of light is allowed within the space. Only love, only benevolence, only the raw truth is allowed. And I have my Divine Mother, Divine Father, God, Creator, and my angels and guides always guiding me. I don't know what that was. Did you guys hear that? Sounded like wind, but no windows are open. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was into space, and it sounded like literally how Antarctica. I have to go back and rewatch this because it sounded like the winds of Antarctica, like going in many different directions. Heard it through the ears. That's been happening a lot ever since one, that total eclipse in Antarctica, and two, after cherry blossom season in Japan, their spring. You could really hear the astral realm. Like I was having a reading with a beautiful mother, and we were speaking about one of her beloveds that had lovingly ascended out to really the biggest mission ever, who chose to ascend out because of her mission, and saved us all. Really, the truth is, she did. Oh, my volume's not on. Oh, my goodness. I knew something was wrong with my audio. Okay, guys. All right. Okay, now you should be good. Okay, my volume's good? Okay, so apologize about that, Eve. You couldn't hear me loud enough. Now you should be able to hear me. Gina, let me know. Is that good? Okay, so with this, yeah, and all of a sudden we heard her beloved one speaking from beyond, something really important, what she was speaking. And we could hear it. Also, we went to cherry blossom season in Japan, which Trump had ended up going. When did he go? I think he was there like the same day we went, or the day before. And this moment in time, we could hear the astral realm again. And sometimes we had it recorded, but you could hear bells chiming. You could hear monks. It's just how incredible these dimensions are. Uniting. Yeah. So, one second. There's a fly, and I think I'm gonna get it out. Whew, we were trying to get that out the whole time. I was trying to be here, and I got that out right on time. So just pay attention to that. Okay. Your clear aliens, which is your hearing, should be amplified in this now time space. Okay, so that's how I get a lot of my messages. I'm listening to the wind, I'm listening to the elements, I'm listening to my guides, my angels, and the messages just come in. The wind is not just wind. The wind is the creational element that brings in the messages, not just from Earth, but they come in through the poles, through the North Pole, the South Pole, the Antarctica regions, through the different universal portals that we talk about in the Antarctica Tartaria series that are there. We have the facts. We're channeling Hitler, World War II, the real truth of that, which goes deep into that a map and the data that we found on Hitler and what he was really exploring, and why the whole world rewrote the history after World War II, after they kicked them out of Germany. Why did the elites, the dark aliens, these alien files, why did these dark aliens, who were then kind of in charge, I guess, then, or they by, tyranny and mind games, so why they rewrote the whole entire history they teach us now. And it's, remember, it's, you're reading everything that they wrote themselves, which is quite disgusting when you think about it. All right, so back to the Hanta. So then the virus came. So what I'm seeing now is that there was a lab there that they, like I said, that they were working on it. There are significantly, if you notice around when you go around in public, there's more people sick than normal. I think in our own way, people are working through it so that they won't get sick. In their labs, it was successful. Disgustingly enough, I mean, the people, whoever they were testing on, the people that, how it leads to that with the locations like Area 51 and so on. And we remote viewed Area 51 in the extra sensitive series. We'll add the links here. It's not available for the public because it's just that sensitive. But as you know, we talk about the deepest things publicly. Yeah. So those labs, they did, and it was successful for them. They successfully were able to modify, this Hantavirus that is from the rat so that it could, acclimate and integrate to the human collective. Okay, so yeah, people are being sick, but I know that Antarctica and that region and the energies coming in from the South Poles or the Arctic Circle are rewriting them, and so are you. Just like we talked to you back then in the COVID virus time, we saw how they were expecting everybody to get sick, and they were paying doctors and hospitals to lie, but then we heard from the nurses that there was really no one there. Instead, they were malpracticing, killing the people. So that's what they're expecting, but it's not going to happen. So I'm telling you, don't feed any attention. Don't feed it any some of the people who might have say officially got it, and then there's also like, is it a hoax, which I think it is some kind of, it's definitely what they're fake actors. They're going to have those fake actors here and there to make it seem like it's real. So just ignore that and don't consent to it. And A.U.R.A, which is not consenting in Lemurian language. Star Child taught us that. A.U.R.A, do not consent. So, all right, and then the way they did it is that they made sure that the rats, they put them on the ship, y'all. If I were those people, I would look into it and figure out what kind of ship is this, and sue their asses, because they were in on it with the dark aliens that were still working on kicking them out of Earth. So then these infested rats, they put them on the ship. Now, since I've been on a ship, and I just went to Antarctica ship right in February, I know that basically that's the worst environment you could be if there's a spread of a virus, because what happens is that when you're on the ship, all you could do is eat the food that they're giving you, obviously, because that is like a hotel on boat, you're in, if you're going to regions where you're going on the ocean, you can't really like stop by and like an island and be like, oh, we're gonna pick up coconuts from here, or we're gonna pick up some mangoes from here, So you have to basically, wherever they load you at, they put all the food in there, and then they made sure that they had the rats that were infested with this Hantavirus. And can I confirm that it's as bad as they claim? It's not as bad as they claim. And that's also one of the reasons why they kept them in, is because they wanted to really cultivate this virus in the people, to see if they could really get it going and then spread it everywhere. So you are seeing pieces of it with people being sick here and there, but not at the extent that they wanted it to be, to really kill off people. Because ultimately our DNA rewrote it, especially if it's something that they've injected into the rats and mice. And it's something that works for them to infest them and kill them, to use them as experiments. It's not something that would be able to be acclimate to our DNA, because we're completely two different species. But definitely the feces had something when they were eating it on the ship. So just keep that in mind. I mean, the food, it being clean, and then which then, made people sick because the rats were there. They contaminated the food on purpose, is what I'm saying. So that's that. Let me see if you guys have any questions on the Hantavirus. Add your questions. Yeah, so excited. Yeah, you all are so excited about what's happening with Gaia at this time in space. I know. Oh, we've been waiting for that, right? Any thoughts on the Ebola outbreak in the Congo? It's the same thing that I explained on how they did that to that ship. Okay, and why Spain, right? That's it. Why did they start it off, say, in Antarctica, and then they dropped them off in Spain, unloaded them in Spain? I feel because there is a shift happening in Italy. You've noticed it. There's, the what is her name? Gina at the top, the lady from Italy, she a prime minister. There's something is happening there. There's a positive polarization happening, and the Vatican has been using the satanic rituals and truly the conquering of all the different lands and worlds that they did with the conquistadores were dark curses. And who were these men? Which we're going to be talking about it as we continue the real man of Arabia. We're going to talk about who these men were. It's the same thing that we're seeing now, you all, with what we had seen, especially in the Biden administration, where they were dropping off thousands of men out of nowhere. Sometimes you hear millions. But here in America, millions came in. Where are they coming from? And it was, they're leaving their IDs behind and so on. It's because they were clones from, right, the COVID swabs. Why do you think they wanted all your COVID swabs? So then that's the same thing is what I'm telling you. Is that these dark aliens are ultimately ran by the Atlantean dark ones that were part of the falling of Atlantis, that stayed on surface, and they have all this like Atlantis technology. You're gonna watch the extra sensitive series for that Philadelphia experiment. Add the link, guys. You really got to do that. It's absolutely incredible. It puts everything together in within a safe private environment where you can hear it. So they are the ones initially basically making all these different dark experiments, influencing the people of Earth, and then making contracts with dark aliens to let them come in through sometimes their technologies. But to do it, they have to trick us, and use our third eyes and consciousness for them to be able to do it. Okay. Again, the Atlantean dark ones that are left over. That's including skinwalkers and all these dark sorcerers. Okay. Oh yeah, so Silvia Fernandez de la Vega, who has been serving as Prime Minister of Spain since 2023. Good. Okay. What's AI generated? Is the question I had asked you? Can you explain what's AI generated? So, all right, thank you. So, in the Congo, that's kind of hard, because the thing about the Congo is that it's hard to get rid of the viruses because the water. And I had a very important aura session where we're working on the water and removing the parasites from the water. But why with mosquitoes and these yucky gnats and parasites, they need water. They grow from the water. We do have other positive insects, or toads and these and dragonflies, but flies, where are they born from? I think mostly poop, but mosquitoes, right, in the water. So then they pollute the water, and then they keep these viruses going. Only way is a cold environment where it freezes, and then it stops the reproducing of the virus. So send love to the waters in the Congo. Maybe your meditations, without overstepping boundaries, without harming none, sending love. If you're an Aura practitioner, part of our Rising Phoenix Mystery School, or Raw Reiki practitioners, you know what to do. You have the sacred alchemy symbols, which are formulas to how to transmute, how to alchemize, how to shift the energy. That's what our school is about, especially the Aura, Hypnosis, and Raw Reiki. You have the E equals MC square in sacred alchemy, and completely changes the frequency and the vibration of what you're working on. That's a science. So then when you use this symbol alchemy, then it just basically Mandela's out, transmutes out, positive polarizes, eradicates what's not a matching vibration to the love light that you are holding, that Mother Earth is holding. Okay. So that's the key for the Congo, is like we need to send love. And if you're in that area, you need to entity removal with, to clear that land and not consent to it. Were they all Dutch scientists? Can you be more detailed on that, Gina? What about Dutch scientists? And I'll get back to that. Okay, that one was, yeah, got it. Okay. And then someone said the name Hanta comes from the South Korea and became common during the Korean War. Why do they target Korea with this name? Well, they targeted Asia, and it begins from the clones that were made in China back then when they invaded Mongolia and literally kind of wiped them away. But also, though, the truth is that I was talking to Genghis Khan, who is positive. Don't believe Disney on that one. Of course you won't. But he was very positive, and he was uniting all the kings and queens everywhere, all the lands. And it wasn't that he owned every single one of the lands, it's that they were united like a legion. And he was telling me that what happened was that the reason why there's 99.9%, I mean, sorry, that is not 99, maybe it is, but so a high percentage, I think it's like something like insane, like 70-80% of it, they claim that Genghis Khan had so many children that that's how many people carry his Genghis Khan DNA, right? So, which is very true, but the reason how he did it is that he did have many children. He was alive at least 1,000 years, and then back then you could do that, no chemtrails then. And so he had many children. Think about it, that's a long time, to make babies. So then these babies, and then had children and grandchildren and great grandchildren and all that the entire time. Can you imagine how populated that would be if you stayed alive for that long and your children had then married and had children, and then those children married and had other children, those children they're married, and think about it. Okay, so then what happened was that once it was time for him to send out, what they did is that they spread out everywhere. So the reason why the Mongolian blood or the Genghis Khan bloodline is in all of us is because they went and intermingled with all of the worlds. You understand, they spread out, which is genius. So they didn't completely kill them off. And that's why a lot of cultures, you see them, they look Asian. It's really interesting, right? I mean, even some Hawaiians look Asian, Hispanics, some look Asian. It's like, why do we all look part Asian sometimes? Yeah, so something to think about there. And they definitely spread out all of Asia, and that's why there's like no population there now, especially Mongolia. And then Russia took over most of those lands, and which tells you, so it could have been definitely some bad guys there in Russia as well, assisting China going after the Mongolians because they wanted the land. Yeah, interesting. He's saying something about Russia. Okay, we're gonna go into that further in the future. I know it's gonna be another series to add on to, but I do have a four book. I found them from, I think it's 1800s or early 1900s. The Real History of the Mongolians. It talks about the Soul Tartary people, Mongolians. I haven't even looked at it. It's epic, or maybe I have. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons. Like they target Korea, Vietnam, Japan. They bombed all these places because they are aware of the dragon energy, the dragon people there, the phoenix energy there. And then ultimately, though, Genghis Khan's family traveled to all these locations too. And even looking at, yes, Hanta is also, it says it's it's a rare Japanese name too, where it may be associated with meanings like half, sale, or bonds. Let's talk about that. So it's a Japanese name, half, sale, or bonds. Feels like, I mean, sale, they're trying to use it across the sea, okay? We talked about how important Japan was recently during cherry blossom season, and then the fact that it's bonds, like trying to bind something, but it didn't work because the Japanese name instead eradicated the binding, and it turned it into a positive, say, binding, like the ancient I'll show it to you actually, Buddhist infinity shield knot or lock, or not, I don't know what word to use. Seal, we'll just call it seal protection. And let's see. So that's what it did. Where is it? Where do I have it at? Oh, right here. Okay. The symbol at the center is found in ancient mandalas, ancient teachings. Okay. This one here at the center. That's a Buddhist sacred knot. Okay. Protection seal. So this symbol, I see that it protected the whole entire land and also protected the people. It's a good symbol for you to use, maybe in golden, to protect. It's found in just about the oldest of temples of Buddhism, Buddhist, which is not a religion, it's a way to be. Buddha has told us. Okay. Yeah. And then the fact that they're using the rodents, you could say, as a rodent-borne disease. I mean, the truth is that, I mean, I'm not interested in having any rats or mouse as pets. Absolutely not. But I have too many cats for that. They'd eat them. But they're just animals. Some people have them as pets and or animal companions, and they love them. Little kids like them. But it's the same thing, like just like the ticks, they made them in the lab, or like a deer, Lyme's disease. They're using them to spread because they know that rodents can, get into small places and multiply very, very fast. So yeah, sending some love over to the rodents. Okay, let me see if you guys have any questions on Hanta, and then I'm going to move on to from that to the next topic. We've got lots to cover again. Okay. Oh, okay. So they said patient 0 of the Hantavirus was said to be a Dutch bird scientist. I feel like I can't quite read it because I feel like that is... I don't feel it's truth. So then I would say that it's a no on that because I can't find it in the Akashic organic Hara records. It's not there. So there's some deceit happening there. Now, did some people pass away? The angels won't let me confirm that. But what they can tell you is that it was definitely dangerous if you were on there. Could have been dangerous, especially if you were a person who was elderly or a child, or you get sick, have a lower immune system. That would have not been a good environment for you to be in because of the experiment that they did to those people there. Okay, got it. Someone said Hanta is mentioned in a series called X-Files. There you go, you all. Yeah, it's like they already knew it. It was the next one that they were going to do after the COVID vaccine. Yeah. Okay, in X-Files 1998. There you go. The virus is illustrated on symptoms from a cruise ship. No way. Is this an attempt for preemptive programming, MK Ultra style? Exactly. So they place it in those time spaces, say in 1998 or in The Simpsons, is because, and then they want other children watching that, and then adults watch that, and then I've told you guys this in the past, but remember how I told you how they make The Simpsons and how they predict what often kind of happens, but then it falls away and transmute, is that they have children in dark military bases, alien bases, where they it's like a machine. I see them like in a machine. It's a helmet, and then this machine is like an MK Ultra, basically projects out some of their children's visions, and they alter the children's vision by having them watch, so dark, they have them watch like dark scenes, and then they use, like back to Stranger Things, you know, that kind of stuff, they use the kids to project out then the cartoon, and then they illustrate the cartoon, and then they have the children inside the Arctic Circle watch the cartoons to make it happen. So yucky. So it is made by children's mind that they're violating to get the future of what puts inverted potential timelines that they can make. Okay. Yeah, exactly. You got it. So we're working on it as a collective for the hantavirus not to be a thing, but we all need to work on it and take care of it. Entity removal, again, never more important than now, than you know it was even back then in the COVID vaccine. Which, in case you're not familiar, I have a link. We can add it here, where we had people who healed themselves from the COVID vaccine. They had, you name it, all types of different diseases and illnesses, and they have healed themselves from it because the key is through the quantum realm and how to go at it at a cellular, micro level, mitochondrial level, and subatomic level and atomic level. And you do that through hypnosis, which is not really hypnosis. Hypnosis is your brain is like brain waves are like this, right? Because factually, your brain is communicating like a radio station. You know, all the different patterns in your brain lobes are picking up the transmissions and communications. So hypnosis, you're in and out of it all day long. It's a lie. A brainwave, it goes like this, not like line, like one. That's not even a wave anymore. So you're in and out of different delta, sleep, theta, alpha, beta, all these, and there's so many names to these waves. They're octaves, like a music note. So know that you are already in, to say, hypnosis states of being, but it's just basically the way your brain works. Yeah. Yeah. So then that's that. And then someone said, Gene Hackman, actor's wife, allegedly died from hantavirus from rats this year, which suggests this is an act. Are they disclosing that they are looking to gene hack with vax for virus? Gene Hackman, gene hacking. Yeah, that's what they're suggesting. And yes, was it really that, or I mean, did they sacrifice her? So you know, the same game. We already know it this time. It's like so ridiculous, you know. Rubbish. And then, but you know, we see that the AI, the inversions are there, but we just don't consent to them, and we oscillate and vibrate our vessels, so magnetic field so high that they just are not a vibratory match to affecting us. So again, it's part of our teachings in our school. So I have a course on how to shield. It's so incredible course, so simple, super good deal too. It's like $50, you all. I still have the 20% off coupon, which is Phoenix. I think it's all capitals, Phoenix coupon code. And then 6G was apparently activated as a new frequency, first rolled out on maritime areas on the cruise. Does this create a challenge? We don't consent to it, but the truth is that they have with the 5G towers, they can amp it. It's 6G is just an amp. Oh, so Nikola Tesla's talking, and he's saying that the devices that they've made that are 5G towers are made invertedly to be able to just amp up. So you could say 6G, you could see whatever G, which I'm not going to name them. I don't consent to it. They just amp it up. You understand? So I think days that we feel a little off, they might have amped it up a bit more. They amp it up just to make people sickly, but they can't technically. They want us alive, because who's going to power up their inverted matrices if we fall for their lies? Which we don't fall for them, right? That's why we're here listening to this video. But others do. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the Hantavirus. I'm going to move on now. Okay, so what's next? What's the next topic we could cover here? Okay, that's so interesting. Right. Let me just talk about Charlie Kirk. I don't want to go deep into it. I don't know if you noticed, I really only made like 1 or 2 videos about it. I think it's a really big distraction, to be honest. You know, I initially, I love Candace, who is covering it, is what I'll say. I love her so. I love what she communicated. I just know that at this point it's become a distraction. And I don't trust fully everything that is being communicated through this avenue, because like I always teach you all, hard discernment. I mean, she had that Weinstein pedo speak a bunch of crap, which we know he's a pedo. Why would you allow someone like that to speak? And now she's gonna have Hunter Biden speak. We know on that, you all, like, is that really true? Was it Roseanne Barr? I'm gonna go with what Roseanne Barr says. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go deep into this. But there was a shift when she started to speak with the Roman Catholic. There was something happening. I honor her so, again, because I know she did it to really save herself from being taken out. She had to kind of contract with something like that to keep herself alive. So I would not trust this communications, this avenue of speech fully, because there's something else pulling the dark cords, just like we've been talking about the Catholic Church, and we know that the pedo priests and I'll make a video about this in the future. We're gonna go into with the real men of Arabia, and the series that we began about Iran, and how to start like healing the men from Egypt that have been compromised into turning into pedophiles. And so we'll talk about it then, okay? About the Catholic Church and how they're Romans. They're the real Romans. I mean, you're talking about the initial Romans that were the first ones that fell to the virus, that turned into the Romans. They were Lemurian beings, but they turned into the Romans. And that's a long story to go into. I don't want to confuse you on that. But the Romans are the dark pedophiles that then spread the virus everywhere by their so-called religion. And we know that they're perverts, raping children all the time since the beginning of their conquering, which we don't consent to. Again, A.U.R.A. Okay, so let me see. So that's what I can say to that. What I could tell you is that I can speak to Charlie Kirk. He is definitely ascended out. He definitely ascended out because his his boy came to me and was concerned about his mother being lost. And he was accurate, because we talked about his mother last time, how there's something inside of her. And so you can watch that video on the one, we'll have the link there, on the Real News, where we spoke about Erica Kirk and some more of that. Okay. So I'm telling you is that the rest of it is a distraction. Just move on. Charlie Kirk would not want you distracted. He would want you to be focusing in. He wants to ensure that the messages that he left behind are not being distorted. Like when he said to one of the men that, I forgot how it goes. Honestly, it's such a distraction. But like one of the men who was in the military, who stepped down and said that Charlie looked at him and said, we have to stop the war we're on. And he stepped down because he said he couldn't align with it. What did we just do? Which goes into China and Trump, you all. That's what Charlie Kirk meant. Not for you to be confused and to be allow yourself, your energy, your consciousness, your third eye to be feeding these inverted timelines. Like, I'm always here to you guys. I'm here to tell you the truth. And don't consent to this stuff. Charlie was talking about ending the wars, and that's what Trump is doing. He's ending the war, is he not? I mean, look at, the thumbnail I use is just like, Trump and the Chinese president, or whatever they call him. What do they call him? What do they call him there? Emperor? I don't know. We'll call him the president of China. Him. What? Did you ever think that you would see that? Or this early on? I've been remote viewing China now. I saw the shift in Asia at the beginning of this year. Absolutely saw it. And you all, it's incredible what is happening there. It's even sooner than I had seen, which is wow on that, you all. Absolutely wow. Thank you to the current streaming 168 live right now. So we know those numbers are not full. We know there's a lot more of you guys watching, but that is all right. China is being submissive. You all, come on. China was we talked about though. China was the one that was after. That's why they built the Tartaria wall, not the China wall, the Tartaria wall against the Chinese people. That they were making clones there. Back then, it's a reoccurring thing that just keeps repeating in cycles, and it's up to us to wake up from it and say we don't consent. If we wake up enough, the collective of at least above 50%, these artificial intentions and timelines start withering away, and no longer is the power given to them so that they can continue them on. So this is huge, you all. And yeah, I'll show you a couple videos here. And we'll be talking about the alien files at the end, okay? Okay, so I'm sure you've seen them. But in case you didn't, check this out. Check this out. So this is how you end war, you all. Do you end war? Tell me, do you end war by fighting with them? It's the whole quote that I'm known for. I'm here to end the AI battles. I'm not here to, I'm not here to fight these AI battles. I'm here to end them. I'm not here to fight these AI battles. I'm here to end them. And this is how you end them, right here. And the only way you end them is you blast them with love. It's the only way. They love you. They grow their heart so much that they learn to love you. And I don't know how it's possible, but in the Chinese president, there's love in his eyes towards Trump, which is freaking me out. It's like we, again, Mandela into another time space, because think about what it was like and how could this even be possible? And of course it's possible because it's happening, but what do they call the president? Like, what's the proper name of China? Let's see a video. Couple quick ones here. Okay, I'll talk while I show you the videos. Here we are. This is the most adorable one I have ever seen. Because look at the cute little Chinese people, little Chinese babies, children. Let's just pause this for a minute. Remember, Chinese people would get taken out or go missing or get arrested if they so happened to say Trump was positive. Remember that? Let's just think about that for a minute, guys. I don't want you to forget that timeline that we were in, where China hated Trump. Okay? And is controlled by communism and cannot even watch a video from the America that is claiming that he is positive. So how could they be cheering him on, putting on parades? What is going on here? We're definitely in another time space, you all. This is absolutely incredible. Okay, so if one, China, it has been used in the past against the people because they're so populated there and they're very intelligent, strong people. And then in the future, they kept jabbing them. In the future inverted timelines where we're eradicating them, right? And we talk about them in our books. So in the future where they become like these type of hybrid, dark alien hybridized people because they keep jabbing them in the future, which again, it's not happening. It's transmuting. It's going, because this timeline right here with these little Chinese children jumping up and down tells you that those inverted timelines are just evaporating. They're transmuting out. They're disintegrating. You understand? Okay. Tell me what you think about this, you all, in comments. This is huge. For me, who views timelines, I understand. For those of you, I'm sure you understand too. But how long has Trump been talking about China? You know, that they were doing this and that. And they are being receptive to work with Trump, whatever he wants. You all, we need to be celebrating and dancing. Throw some kind of party today. Come on. This is huge. A couple more videos, but let's just see them one more time because they're so cute. This generation's gonna remember this, you all. Which means they can't turn these children into the hybrid aliens in the future by jabbing them over and over, because they're gonna remember. Look how much love they have for him. What? Look at his smile and his genuine. He really loves Trump. What happened? Y'all, tell me you're freaking out with me. Okay, this is a really nice one here. There's about, what do you say? There's about 300. Hold on. Okay, he was taken to sacred areas that no one goes into, unless you're Chinese of importance, royalty. Cheers, the trees here around here are 2,000 to 3,000 years old. Trump's like, what? They live that long? Yeah, they do. Look at how he's responding to him. Oh yeah, so he is president. Oh, okay, they call him president. Okay, President. I don't want to mess up his name. Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. I'm probably gonna say that wrong. We'll just go Chinese president for now. And he's not looking at him annoyed by his question of what, they live that long. He's like genuinely being kind to him. There's a little bit of roll eye there, a little bit. But hey, this is a big shift. He's genuinely like, you know, liking him and getting along with him. I thought this was a fun one. Again, this was not allowed back then. If they Chinese like Elon, I mean, no, right? Look, they're taking pictures with him. Elon looks like, he's got fans over there. Oh, he's funny. He's making a face. He's getting several. Like, okay, A.U.R.A. The president for China has agreed to provide whatever Trump needs to end the war in Iran. A.U.R.A., this is what Charlie Kirk meant right here, okay? This is proof. This is massive. China buys 90% of their oil exports from Iran. Trump is putting on a masterclass. That he is. He is a master at chess. His chess game, absolutely incredible. It's happened, you all. Tell me, I mean, you guys remember China hit, I mean, the relationship, they really were hateful and communists and, you know, especially to their citizens, controlling them. They needed to, they had to hate Trump, right? You guys remember that, right? Let me know in comments. Because we know how these these worlds keep shifting, and we're remembering some things. Some of you are remembering some things you guys are not remembering. Okay, all right. Let's see what else you guys are saying there. So yeah, it's ending. Yes, will the Iran war end soon? It is, but it's a process. I mean, at least China's not going and after them, and it's not say providing the inversion to attacking them. Is he now positive? Will I say that I would be like, hey, friends with him? Personally, I would, but I'd watch my back. You know? Yeah, because you gotta love them. That's the only way to help, right? Because if they grow love for you, they can't keep attacking you no more. It's the way it works. And how rewarding and beautiful that is as a soul to know that this person was evil, you know, but now is somewhat good. You are alone on this. I'm freaking out. Okay. Wow, that is sooner than I thought. Exactly, you all. This is what I'm saying. While China is freeing herself, yes, she is. Yes, she is. These are your comments. And someone else said, there are videos about Chinese Elon who really looks like him. I've seen that. The Chinese Elon Musk, bro. I've seen that. That it's funny. It's cool. It's amusing. Trump is taking on Cuba too. Yeah, he is. Is that what's his name? Marco Rubio? Is that his name? Gina, is that his name? Right at the top. The other thing that happening is China banned, I think that's his name, Marco Rubio, and who, I think he's from Cuba. I gotta look into that. You guys, I don't really follow politics, but they had to unban him. China had to unban him. Yeah, Marco Rubio. Thank you. They banned him. They hated him. The whole Trump, yeah, the whole Biden administration times, you know, they so much so that they banned him. And because he's part of the Trump administration, they had to remove the ban from him. They needed to unban him. Guys, this is awesome and epic. Wow, right? Okay. I mean, you know that China is not submissive. They're not. I mean, there have been emperors ever since they took over China for dynasties and dynasties. This is not something they don't play nice, you all. You know that, right? So think about how huge this is since China does not play nice in past history. I know how it happened, but I can't share with you how. Mother Earth talks to me. All right, so that's that. Magical times we're in. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's that one. You guys are good there? I move on from that one. Yeah, it's also Marco Rubio. He has Cuban family. His parents migrated from there. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you. I'm excited. See, this is happening because the Tartaria people. I know it sounds insane. Oh, what's the Tartaria people? Because what happens is that we're Mandelaing back the time space when Tartaria, they were free before the early 1900s as things started shifting by the dark Atlantean aliens or descendants of dark ones, Atlantis. Okay, those. So they. The Cabbage Patch Kids. We need to go into that. This is gonna be so crazy, you all, when I go into it. Keep watching. That's part of the World's Fair series. Want to watch that? The World's Expedition series is gonna come up. I'm preparing for it. I won't be here, by the way. Don't let me forget. I won't be here this Friday. This Friday coming up. I'm gonna take a little bit of a just rest, and because I work, as you know, day and night. 24/7. I really do, even in dream time, right? So just gonna take a little rest. And yeah, so I won't be here this Friday, next Friday, but I'll be back after that. Okay. Every Friday live, in case you're new to us, 1 p.m. Central Time. Okay. Okay, so now, like, answering your question, like, as always, the Chinese president positive now, I wouldn't give my back to him too much. That's what I could say. But he's got better intentions, good intentions. He's working. He's being friendly. He's, working it out. He's not being like the previous dynasties that did not work it out with anyone. So, I mean, that's awesome. Sending him love. That's really kind of rising out from your ego, even though you would have all this power. Think about, like, if you were a dark lord like that and you had all this power and you had all these millions or billions, whoever population of China, and they're all under your control. Why in the world would you all of a sudden give a little bit of that control away? Something is happening here, you all. Well, the main reason is, number one, is that he got him. The tariffs, you all. The tariffs. Where is everything made from in America, you all? China. You look at the bottom of everything, China. So he got him where it hurts, the money. In America and all over the world, everything's made from China. So if you tell him you're not gonna, buy his stuff for whatever amount of time we did it, was it been like a year, it's gonna hurt him, and he's gonna have to eventually decide to work with him because he got him you get me? He got him where it would hurt the most. The money. And that choice of him thinking like, oh man, the president of China, like, thinking like, we're not getting all the money we used to, so on. It made him question just a bit. And the minute the soul and the consciousness questions like that, the minute they open up just the field, the magnetic field like that, their brain, what happens is that higher octaves of love light come in and shift the brain, the heart, the soul. And the more they question, like, okay, maybe the old ways are not too good right now. This president is not paying out, what am I going to do with all this product sitting around that I'm, have all these people making, robots or whatever they're doing, so, and him questioning like that's all we need. That's when the energy comes in to help them, I'll say, into a higher state of being. So this man we're definitely seeing is not, say, energetically the original man that would have never been submissive, the original president, before he decided to become friends with us. It would be basically this Earth Mandela, a higher version of him. Okay? You understand? Next one. So I think that's good. Yeah? Okay, next topic. What can we talk about? Okay, we talked about Charlie Kirk. We talked about that. Okay, next one is what's left. United Kingdom, and then we're gonna go into the alien files. The United Kingdom, you all, huge. What's happening over there? Have you seen what's happening over there? We've been watching. What happened with the digital IDs? Gina, write in. What happened? We know we made a video about them. Make sure that they not consent to the digital IDs, right? Oh, they said, someone's asking, will that also affect Russia? I don't know about that guy. Can't tell you who exactly he is unless you watch the Extra Sensitive series. And what I can tell you is he is the main bad guy playing nice. Charming, but not charming, because I don't fall for that personally. X. It's garbage crap, is what I can say to that. Watch the Extra Sensitive series, which we talked about him. In the channeling Hitler. I got all the data for you guys. Check that out. Okay, so someone said a joke from Senator Kennedy, which we love him. God created the world, but everything else is made in China. That's a good one. He's right. Okay, so if everything else is made in China, that would be a lot of money they're missing out on as we give them the tariffs, right? Yeah, it's genius, incredible. Okay, hey, let's be friends. Let's be lovers, not haters. Let's be lovers and haters. I mean, that's really what he gives them a chance, but like the last real news I talked about, Maduro, dude, that guy, pedophile, main guy running the human trafficking rings, that guy is not changing. At least in that perspective. Yeah. I can't guarantee that the Chinese president is not doing this. I can't guarantee that because there's a lot of trafficking happening there too. But we will go into that. Maybe we Mandela in a version of him that's not doing that. I'm not going to go into that, but just possibilities to think about. All right. So when someone said the UK governmentality is aiming to relaunch digital ID program as a voluntary scheme. Voluntary. Yeah, guys. According to Charles, false at the state opening parliament previous Wednesday. They couldn't do it. It's voluntary. What's up, guys? Yeah. Let me show you the video. Good job. Right? That was the last news we spoke about. Okay. Which goes into look at, where is it? I had it here. Oh, right here. UK protesting. You guys are awesome. Vámonos, let's go. Check this out, you all. So, thousands surge into the streets demanding England belongs to English, not to Arabs and Muslims. Because, for example, America stopped letting the clone migrants, the ones created by the COVID swabs, okay, they stopped letting them in, then they really went to the other nations like the UK. And I don't want to show you the videos, but crazy stuff happening in the UK and all different parts of Europe where they're hitting people with bats, hitting people randomly, just walking, raping young ones and women. It is horrific. So look at these beautiful people standing up and saying that, their country is their country. They don't consent to those clone migrants and the violations that they're trying to do to people, okay? Big, I just wanted to say love and lots of love to them and for standing up. These men love you with all that I am. Keep going, don't give up. You got it. Don't give up. It is time, you all. It is time that the real kings and queens of Europe rise and come into power. And that's why, one of the reasons I'm making this video too. This one is sooner than we think. Sooner than we think. I'm telling you right now, the kings and queens of Europe, UK, and even Asia are to come back. And it has begun. And you do it. You do it by creating these protests, by, standing up against oppression and these Muslim Iran men that really are something else. Not sure if they're really even men. They're a program that happened to them since 1979 and what they've turned into. So Again, we'll watch that in The Real Men of Arabia. Okay? So thank you. Stay strong. Stay in your heart. And we're about to go into the alien files. Now, I haven't fully looked at them detailedly. Okay. I'm loud enough. Good. Because I wanted to look at them in real time with you all. Okay, but what I can tell you is that they didn't give us everything, obviously, but they gave us some. Okay. They're obviously not going to give us the files where it says Area 51, or maybe are they there? Let me know in comments. Did you read them all? Are they there? Let me know in comments which ones did you run into that you think are really important. But they're probably not going to tell us, yeah, there's bases in Antarctica and there's bases in Area 51 where it's restricted and you can't enter. We got some dark stuff going on. And my question is, what's going on there? Did Trump visit these bases, or are they hiding them from him? He would be aware of them. His Trump administration would be aware of them. So let's go into this and figure things out as much as we can here. And as I enter now, the final topic of our Real News series, which is the alien files, you know that I have tons of videos on aliens and how they really are existing. And before I go into that data, now I want to say that for my infomercial, I am self-funded by myself. I am a family-owned business. So if you ever feel inclined to come check out my website, purchase necklaces, oils, sessions, courses, come visit me here. You all, what I offer, the services are expansive. Now you might hear from people like, oh yeah, I've tried this person and this person, and they also have testimonials. Yeah. Read the testimonials, feel it. Is that really a heart testimonial, or is that something that is artificial, or they're just kind of doing it just because they asked them to? Or are people speaking from the heart? And I have all the data in the books to show you what we've been able to accomplish. So, and you can feel it in your heart that this is very, very much real. So, I will say you can, this one here is available. So I'm going to show you my website really quick. It's just part of my infomercial, and then we'll continue the show. Here we go. So to support this video and all that I do, go to any of my websites and sign up to any of the memberships. It's a beautiful, even exchange. You get love and knowledge and wisdom, and you learn how to step into your power. Because the more you learn the truth, the more that you level up. That's what our teachings are about. So if you go to my website, here you are, and you say you're at the homepage, you click the little lines on the side, and you click here about Aurora books, oils. And you go here to Jewelry, Rising Phoenix Gems, which I do have an Etsy shop. But to get them more at a discounted price, I don't have them all on my website, but you do get them less price here. And it's so beautiful. Read this and how these crystals are incredible. So if you click here, this is the one I'm wearing right now. I've always had it available under Etsy, but it's one of my most popular one. It's a double horn goddess Hathor, and it's available now on my website for $5 off Etsy, and it's gold filled, high quality, made in the USA, by the way. All the material I use is made in the USA, gold filled, 14 karat gold, sterling silver, rose gold filled, made in America. Okay, and then let me show you quickly. Now, we talked about it in the Thousand Hands Kuan Yin, what the Mother of Pearl really represents. You could read it on your own. What I am going to read here is that the double horn, Egyptian goddess Isis, Hathor, Cleopatra, and Greek goddesses Set represents our crown chakra and connection to the celestial energies, a bridge and arc to the divine realms. This double horn pendant made from the Mother of Pearl becomes an antenna so that we may hear the divine voices that speak to us all day long. This symbol is considered to be worn by the Supreme Mother Goddess, parent of all other deities. The arc in the double horn is one of the first sacred alchemy symbols that represents the vault of the heavens to the divine light. The crescent moon signifies the protection of the moon goddess and the divine mother of creation. This shape becomes a chalice that holds the divine light full of wisdom so that we may regain and retain this once more as the children of the stars, the gods and goddesses we are. Beautiful. All right. And I have it now in 27 mm, which is the size that I have, which is bigger. Check it out, you all. Made out of mother of pearl again. And this necklace that I'm wearing here is also available here. There. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for listening to my infomercials today. Also, I am wearing, what am I wearing? Lucid Dreams, made by the Oracle of Delphi. Lucid Dreams, Oracle of Delphi. This oil blend helps you go into, and I'll advertise that later, but it helps you go into the different brainwaves. The most important one is like the theta brainwave coming in and out of it. And again, it's available on the menu bar. Let's go. All right, we're good there. Okay, so let's go into some of what we can go into now. Okay, but let me show you a quick video, which is what? Let me show you. You guys, did you ever think the day that this would be that you'd see this on the news? Fox News, you all. Here we go. Ready?
Species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, insectoids, and reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails, like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall.
This is good visual, okay? So, as you know, we've been talking about it in Galactic Soul History, 700 pages about these dark aliens, right? Don't think of these as friendly aliens, okay? Even though they're talking about them apparently on the Fox News. That is actually quite accurate. These are the 4 major ones. There is more than these, but these are basically the ones you just mentioned are the 4 original bad ones. Okay? They call them Nordics in the UFO communities, and I don't even want to say his name, but that whatever crap door guy. These are bad ones, you all. These are bad ones. What I can tell you is that the dark Pleiadians that have been working in cahoots with the reptilians and so on, and I know you've heard all this programming on that being positive, but they're not. They're bad. They're negative. They're part of hybridizing humankind. So I'm so happy that Fox News made it really nice for us, this nice video, and someone I think added all the pictures. These 4 are the negative main ones that you want to watch out for. Okay, the mantis. They were at some point in time space, long time ago, they were like a positive type of, more gentle type of race, but they were compromised completely. They have AI in them, completely controlled, a race that was completely taken over. Same for the reptilians. Okay, and then again, Nordics are not Nordics, they're dark aliens, and you're gonna watch that again in the extra sensitive series with the Philadelphia experiment, and where we discovered the truth about who were those on the ship who were messing with Tesla, giving him information, and he talked about that story there. Okay, that's who it was, you all. Okay, in case you watched that, there you go, the dark Pleiadians. Okay, and then we have the Greys, which are hybridized humans in the future who have been jabbed so much that they turn into these Greys. And you've maybe seen some files here and there where they talk about the Greys talk about how they're from the future and they're back and supposedly they're trying to help us, but they're not. They're performing experiments on us to make sure our experiment keeps going. Not our experiment, their experiment. Make sure that their experiment continues on to which we are not their experiment, but that's what they're doing back and forth, right? Okay.
We haven't seen the evidence, but Pete Hegseth says more evidence is coming, and there are a lot of believers in Congress.
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Releasing the files isn't easy. They've been hidden for years, and a lot of people want to keep it that way.
The problem we have right now is the deep state's fighting the president on the release, and he kept his word, and I suspect some of our not so friendly comrades and some of our alphabet agencies are slow walking a lot of the information. It's about power, it's about control, and that's kind of what runs Washington.
So why is our own government fighting so hard to keep these secret? Well, a dozen scientists have either gone missing or died. Now, we don't know if that's related, but people are scared to talk.
One I thought was going to do an interview, and then a couple days before sent me a message saying, after further consideration and long talks with my wife, I decided I'd be forfeiting my life if I participated in your interview. And I thought that was like very unsettling message to get, obviously, but also very specific word choice, you know, forfeiting my life.
Yeah. Now we know that they have the Men in Black, and it, again, ran by these dark Atlantean ones. And yeah, you all I can say is we told you so, that it was real, and you guys know that. You're watching this. I mean, look at how many stars and universes and multiverses there is. I mean, we can't be the only ones in one star. The sun is our star. There's life form in every star system, every star cluster, every star has a life in it. Yeah, so read those books about that. And you watch so many videos that I've covered these, like Gina, what are some of the videos that I've covered about aliens? I mean, there's like the MK Ultra ones, the Super Soldier ones. I mean, the whole entire books, book 1 and book 2, are about these dark aliens, really controlled by the AI. So these are 4 major races where succumb to the AI and have an AI system in them, and the majority of these would have their consciousness inside in matrices, and then they're just wheel them away, moving them around like puppets. There's all types of even other aliens, and we talk about through our teachings or our hypnosis, which has taught us about these dark aliens, because sometimes because people had them attached or had memories in past lives about them. So, and then the higher selves taught us how to remove and unintegrate them in the quantum. Okay, and I have to be careful on what I say on this, but look at this, you all. This is an older video, it's not CGI. Check this out. Shapeshifter caught on camera. This kind of things exist, obviously.
Ladies, the shapeshifter.
Look, she can't keep the form. What happened was that she was hugging him, and he must have been a strong light. And it didn't allow, oh, it's so creepy. It allowed for her to keep the shape, and he's like, what the heck is that? Watch that again. Yeah, definitely a skinwalker, shapeshifter. Turned into a man. You saw it? Creepy. At the end, it turned into him. Like, can't even keep the form. Or, I don't know. Okay, yeah. All right, so what do you guys want to know? Tell me about your questions. Did you read the files? What questions do you guys have? So let's see. Yeah, I think there's a video surfacing of Trump with the AI alien, with an alien. I'm pretty sure that that's AI generated. But he did post it on his Truth Social account on May 17th. Can you give me the link to that, Gina? Do you have a link to that? Let me look at it. So he did post it? Why did he post that? I have to look into that. Let's see if we can look into that now. If you find me the link. Okay, so let's see. What questions do you guys have? Oh, about the UK, they said, what about Tommy Robinson? He is a British and anti-Islam campaigner and one of the UK's most prominent fair right activists. He is known for founding the English Defence League and has been involved in various anti-migration and anti-Islam activities. Robinson has a controversial background, including a criminal record, and has been a polarizing figure in British politics. His activism has garnered significant media attention and public debate, particularly regarding issues of free speech and censorship. Will there be a major shift in November for in the better? So what's happening in November? Tell me about that. But what I'm hearing from the divine and the reviewing the organic timelines, that this man, I'm trying to figure out how I can say this. I don't want to put more target. Can't say that. Okay, let's just say send him love. That's what I can say. And if you're part of the resistance, protect is all I can say. Okay, okay, so tell me what's happening in November. Is something in UK? Okay. Okay. Got it. So I don't see anything else on the UK. I'm waiting for your answer on what you said about November. Okay. Okay, so we don't have the true social media when he posted that, but there is a closest link that they can find. Okay. I think it looks AI generated, but let's just look at it because we'll reference it. Because he did post it himself. Okay. Wasn't there a video? Gina, I think there was a video. Can you find a video? Let's find the video. I'm pretty sure there was a video on that. But looking at this, trying to look in there deeper, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say it in this now time space for the protection of what's happening there. So I need more information on that while I continue the alien files. Okay, so we'll get back to this after we. Zen, if you're watching, I think there was an alien one. Yeah, it does feel like it's AI. It's like generated, but why would Trump post that, right? I think ultimately he's trying to tell us that, they're real, in other words, but he can't basically show you the real ones, is what I'm saying. What Mother Earth is saying. Can show you the actual ones, but he can generate an AI one for you to start inquisiting and thinking about things. It works. Let's think about that image. What does it represent? That gray alien is also handcuffed. What do you think that means? He's trying to tell us we need to read these like clues, right? So he's telling us is that they're in control. The humans are in control now, at least here in the Americas. And I don't know exactly how that is, and I can't go deeper into that for the protection of the organic timelines. But they have them in handcuffs, which means that we have the ball in our court, you could say. Oh, okay. So he posted the picture and someone else made it into video. Got it. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Awesome. Yeah, so that's the answer to that. You understand? Let me know if you have any more questions on that. Okay. Questions to be answered. Let's see what you have, and then we'll go into the files. So, Gina, what major shift in November for the better? What is that? Oh, are Democrats going to be done after November? Election midterms are in November. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of them are not going to be voted in by the people for sure. And they are not in charge of the polls anymore. So then we are going to elect more positive perhaps Republicans, or just positive people, period. Yeah, another Mandela shift that's going to help us out and help the world. Good. And then the second tranche of UFO files were released today, May 22nd, 2026. Be interesting to see what's that. Do you have a link for that? Let me see that. Give me a link for that. And then next one is, so you have any sense about what the big event is going to be? What big event? What big event? Give me details on that. What are we talking about? It's such a big, many ways that we could go with that. Okay, so I need answers on, I need a link to these additional files filed to release today, of course, when I'm making this video. Our higher selves talk to one another, you could definitely tell, right? And then do you have, yeah, what's a big event? So I need answers on that. Let's look at, let me look and see what we have here. Excuse my dog, she's snoring. Okay, so here we are. All right, we have the Department of War just released. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is, here it is. Okay, let me share it on screen. According to this, okay, so this is the U.S. Department of War, okay? And this looks like it's like the official site, according to this. And it's Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP encounters. Second tranche of records under pursue. The first tranche was released May 8th. Scroll down to view the second tranche release on 22nd. All right, I'm just gonna intuitive this. I'm gonna go with this one first. Okay, a letter to the members of Parjorit Astronomers Club regarding an upcoming meeting featuring a presentation from Los Alamos National Laboratory affiliation physicist Dr. John Warren titled, Why Should a Scientist Be Concerned About the UFOs? The reference event was not officially hosted by Los Alamos. The laboratory has no record of the subject matter discussed at the meeting. Of course they don't, but there it is. A meeting will be held in 1986 in the Ranch Room, Fuller Lodge. What time? They're talking about UFOs. Scientists be concerned about UFOs to find the why. Well, let's go into that. I mean, so why would they be concerned? We might need a part 2 to this, guys. If you want it, let me know in questions and comments. Thumbs up it if you want me to go further into these files, which we obviously can't because there's so much data here. So why would they be concerned about, why should scientists be concerned about UFOs? It even tells you how to get there. Find a ranch, go around the outside, the south of the lodge, facing the central Ave, and go up the stairs. See you there. Okay, vice president? Who was president in 19, guys, who was president in 1986? President and vice president and treasurer. Their names are there. That's blanked out. Okay. Gina, tell me who were. And then why should there be? It's because that's where the real science is at. Now we know that like Roswell and like Area 51, they got a hold at some point of these like alien ships and then reverse engineered them. We also know that Adolf Hitler was also interested in this and did get a hold of more positive UFOs information. He also came in contact with the Inner Earth, the Garthian people, and you have to watch that channeling to understand that further. But yeah, that is something that's been happening. Even like General E. Byrd, we talk about him in the extra sensitive content. Okay, so we have data for there. Okay. Statement. The Department of War is in lockstep with President Trump to bring unprecedented transparency, nice, regarding our government's understanding of an unidentified anomalous phenomena. These files, hidden behind classifications, have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time the American people see it for themselves. This release of this classified documents demonstrates the Trump administration's earnest commitment to unprecedented transparency. United States Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Oh my God, yo, this is huge. Okay, let's just think about this. Okay, so now we can talk about aliens and say that, I mean, like the video that was showing from Fox News, like people fear for their life talking about aliens, like, you know. But now that they're being unclassified, it literally basically tells you that the curse of that was keeping people's minds so in a box, thinking that there's no aliens and thinking that it was supernatural stuff, is that means that the collective has woken up enough to allow the removal of the curse and the releasement of the alien information, at least here in America. Huge again. Come on, books and books. This is huge. What's up? So you want to know the real data of like these aliens? Read the books and what they do to people and what they've done in the past. Okay. So that was a information to release one, and yeah, okay. All right, so looking through and seeing what else you guys want to talk about here. Okay, so in 1986, the president of the United States was Ronald Reagan. Which I feel was positive. Wasn't he like demoted or whatever? Impeached. And the vice president was George Bush. The first Bush. Ew. I feel like Ronald Reagan was positive. Bush was like Pence to Trump. Okay. What else? Are you guys writing? Okay, so the big event, that question. Do you detect any major destruction, Earth changes this year? No. I mean, there's going to be some things that they try to weather modify, but more and more so, those things are falling away when they try to like do earthquakes and so on. We just need to raise in consciousness and not let our third eyes power up though, and allow the fear to feed the storms or whatever they're doing to Mother Earth to affect her elements. Okay, some UFO files, May 22nd today, include NASA astronauts, actors, during Apollo missions recording observations in space. When will Lyran and positive alien sightings be reported? Well, now that we got the files rolling out, we will see more expansion as far as the positive aliens. But I'm so thankful that Fox covered the 4 major negative ones. The Nordics, the dark alien Pleiadians, have been sleeping with people to make their hybridized aliens. They're part of the hybridization program. Okay. Yeah, you know, UFO abductions, that's how they've been doing, mind swiping people, you know, like movies like Men in Black are things that are real. But not fully, but I mean, they tell you some kind of data there. Yeah, Bush was CIA. He was. And then they said that they were reading in comments, the reason Epstein initially bought Zorro Ranch was to be close to the scientists at Los Alamos Labs. Yeah, that's accurate. And that's where we know about those, we talked about that, the hybridization program videos, and the truth of Epstein and what he was doing. And he was doing experiments on the children, intermingling them into making them part demonic with black eyes and just part reptilian, human children, dark stuff, y'all, that we've covered in those videos. Okay, good. I'm all caught up with that. Let me see what else we can cover here. All right. So that is the one that we clicked here. So many. All right, let's look at the ones that were released on the second time around, not the first time around, which is today. Let's look at this, because it says Iran. March 6, 2026, 8 members. That was recent. Wow. Of the U.S. House of Representatives requested access to 51 potentially UAP-related records allegedly held by the Department of War and the intelligence community. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office identified a collection of responsive materials held as a classified network. Many of these materials lack a substantiated chain of custody. Access says that this video, whose uploader defined title is For UA Formation Iran, okay, 26 August 22nd, over water. Let's see it. Yeah, those are not normal. Cool. And that looks like a, yeah. They're using, look at that, this looks like Star Wars stuff. Yep. Okay, good one. Next one. What else we got here? Oh, I think I went back too much. Wait, back. Scroll down. Got it. Where'd it go? Okay, next one. Syrian. Let's just check that out. Okay, on March 6th, 2026, 8 members of the U.S. Representative. I'm gonna try to skip all that. Okay, but potentially records allegedly held by the Department of War. They noticed an anomaly. And this video, okay. Let's see. It's 100% speed. I can't click it. You have to download the video? I guess I'll download it. Okay, let me see. Or not. Or yes. Let me see the video. So basically it's just like more footage on like aliens. I mean, this is just so incredible though that now they're saying that it's true. It's real. I mean, it's huge, you all. It's a raising in consciousness in the collective to be able to, you know, there's just you know, wow, look at that, moving really fast, right? And we know, I mean, we see it. There it goes. And those look like lights, stars moving around. We've been talking about this. You all know. It's made out of light. Yeah, so we're seeing them, especially after the video that I made or during the video that I made, you know, starships. The starship video, we'll add the link. And in Chicago here, we've never really seen UFOs because it's too much light and it's hard to see them. But you can see them now. If you stand outside and you just look up at the night sky, you can see like this anomalies moving around, starships moving around. And then they go so fast. They have no noise. And, you know, look at that. Okay? That is awesome. Let me know if you guys have any questions on aliens. Anything else you want me to answer? Let me know you all. Probably just gonna see a bunch of files, right, that they found. Okay, there's this one document here that talks about, you know, the aliens back then and prior to World War II. See, they were real. And then that's what Adolf Hitler was trying to give data over to us. Again, you want to watch that series. So we got April 1949. Okay, so that is 4 years after. after they kicked them out of, and it's Germany, New Mexico, Albuquerque. References made, a secret letter dated 1949. Guard Order 7 amended, directing that electrocate to be closed between 1700 hours until 700 hours the following day. Okay, and it has it's talking about provided the final draft of our alert plan has been revised. So right here, basically it talks about contains 160 pages of documentation from the Armed Forces Weapons Program, the direct post-World War successor to the Manhattan Project. Okay, and from the U.S. Air Force relating to a series of sightings and investigations in Sandia, New Mexico. There you go, you guys. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I feel we need to cover, but it's just going to be a bunch of this kind of data, you all. Let me know if you guys find anything else, which is awesome. Again, yay. Okay, this is from late 2025 during early evening. It's the U.S. intelligence officer. Come on, guys, this is awesome. You would get, you would be offed for talking about this stuff or getting any of this. Wow, that we have our hands on. It's huge. Okay, coincided with unidentified aerial phenomena, sightings. Okay, after leaving the JLC, we flew a low altitude map of Earth route through the mountain range for several hours. Multiple times we spotted debris on the ground and descended for closer inspection. Each time we determined it was remnants from rockets and other projectiles that had crashed during years of weapons testing on the range. As we continued searching near areas of reported orb activity, we discovered a large so orbs or starships, a large cave entrance with no visible end in sight. So these are in the mountains, right, that were probably restricted. The terrain around the entrance offered no safe landing spot, so I instructed the pilot to orbit it several times for observation. We noted the location and then pressed on. Running low on fuel, we headed to a prearranged rendezvous point to meet a ground team and let my colleague disembark the two pilots, and then I proceeded in pre-position tanker range, refueling our plans, so on and so on. All right. Search nearby, more debris spotted on the ground. By the time the sun had set, the pilots switched the forward locking. Okay. No findings they had. Back to the GLC. Well, that's pretty cool about the cave, though. Ground teams reported, so they just found previous debris. Super hot, describing it as super hot. Let's see, en route, ground turns reported spotting a UAP or FLIR, describing it as super hot, low to the ground, and moving east and south. What is that? Okay. The object then split into two and changed direction. Okay, what is that? Gina, can you look that up? We'll say UAP and FLIR. It splits into two, apparently. Upon arrival, we scanned the area using NGV, FLIR, and the naked eye. The ground team suddenly radioed that the object had risen from the ground, approached within 10 feet of the helicopter, dropped below us, and then sped away. Wow. The pilots observed it through NVGs and saw it split into two as a smaller object emerged before it's accelerated out of sight. The briefing we've seen these happen, like in our retreats. We see this happening. This is pretty cool. We briefly pursued but broke off, unable to match his speed. At one point, the JLC informed us that the several fighter jets had launched on a training mission in our operating area and requested their assistance in identifying the UAP. Wow. Well, I mean, if not a coincidence, you all, we are to go deeper into these, and I think we'll leave that for another video because we're almost at 2 hours now. but we did good in touching base on this. Let's figure out what a UAP and FLIR are, if we're able to find a meaning to them on the web. Tell me your questions and comments. Apparently they could split in two and go at speeds we cannot keep up with. Hey, that is awesome. So if it split in two, it would be more organic, by the way, than artificial, because it can, yeah, it's, I'm seeing like an organic type of star energy that splits into two. But we'll see if you guys have any questions or comments on this. Okay, UAP is, stands for unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Got it. A term used to describe objects or events that cannot be immediately explained in the air, sea, space, or other domains. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, that explains that. And then, do you think that we will ever get to see the actual legit videos of aliens? I think we eventually will. But again, step by step, apparently they're going to be releasing them in phases for us. They can't, so think about it, like these people who are like programmed to think that their aliens don't exist, how scary that would be for them, that now they are aliens. So then they could only do it. Remember how we always say it's like step by step, and we could only release it step by step because it would be too scary for them, I guess. It would be too much for them. So then looks like today is one day that we decided we're going to release, and we'll continue to release them to what Divine Mother says, to the collective, in what they're ready to understand and know, especially if they haven't researched aliens before. So do you think, yeah, I think we will see more legit alien videos later on. I mean, there's some that have surfaced from time to time that I've referenced in the past videos. So it is time to have a conversation with a few of them aliens I know. So this is my concern. You don't want to have conversations with aliens, because then that invites them in. So shield with source of light. Now there are positive beings. I mean, everyone in the stars could be known as aliens. Just be cautious with that. I have so many videos on that, you all, and how they UFO abduct you, and be cautious. But the fact that Trump posted a picture on a handcuffed alien tells you that we're again in control. So incredible, you all. Big for me, especially. I mean, my work has a lot been about healing people from these alien abductions and these memories that sometimes, they would take them and erase them, or the military bases themselves, they would take them and put them in their military bases and wipe their memory. It's been horrific for these people. Some of what we've assisted through our services and Aura hypnosis, entity removal, regaining the memory back so that they can heal themselves, because ultimately it'll cause illnesses and disease, and it'll keep them in a loop of constant parasitic drainage of light to these whoever the oppressors that infringe upon them. It keeps feeding them, and the only way to do that is by regaining the memory, transmuting it, eradicating it, then healing it finally, or deleting inverted timelines where you were abducted like this. An FLR is a type of infrared imaging system that captures thermal radiation rather than visible light, okay? Allowing users to see temperature differences in real time. So then, which means that you wouldn't be able to see them in, say, physical eyes, but you see them through the infrared. Exactly. So the heat signature of something that is there, especially if there's heat, it would be more of a higher vibrational energy, more of a benevolent type of energy. What's cold and doesn't have heat temperature typically is the artificial, they're like empty, hollow, cold. You can see the breath, and then what has heat, that typically is more organic benevolence happening. So yeah, you would need infrared to see them, but you can't. And they would be typically more of a fifth dimensional, operating the fifth dimensional blueprint of Mother Earth through those interlining, say, blankets or threads of the 5D, and that's why you can't see them in physical form, because they're more 5-dimensional. And you can register them through heat, because everything that has life emits a heat signature, right? Okay. It's my dog again. Okay, so it's time to. Okay. Someone said, do you think that the drones over New Jersey were our attempt of reverse engineering? So I made a whole video on that. They weren't drones. They were light beings. Light beings. Watch that video. Starships. Okay. And the fact that they were in New York and in New Jersey area where we talk about the Philadelphia experiment is huge. Okay. Go find out more data about that through that series. Now there's I can't tell you everything in one video, you all. I mean, we try to do our videos 1 to 2 hours, and this series that I talk about, like the ultra sensitive ones, it's been hours like of data sharing and going into how deep this is. It's so good. Okay. Yep, we're good. I don't see any other questions and comments, guys, before we finish up. All right, I think we're good. Comments, yeah, we're looking good. Thank you all. You are so incredible. Thank you for being you, for being so absolutely awesome. You are so divine. You are loved by creation, by the Creator, Divine Mother and Father. You are just so thankful for you. Thank you for holding space for this incredible video. Hit like right now, thumbs up. Come join me for Tea Party June 14. Come drink some tea. I don't have my teapot right now. Drink some tea. Shh, sip it. It's gonna be so beautiful. Organic tea, and you get to chat with me, ask me questions, and then you get to heal yourself. And it's like a guided meditation, sound bath. You all, the sound bath, they're lit, as the children say it. They're fire. They're incredible. Profound, deepest healing you will ever have in your life. Let's go. So come join me. Otherwise, I'll see you in retreats, workshops. Come sign up to any of our memberships, purchase jewelry to support this video and all that I do. Do all that. Thank you for being you. Enjoy the over 1,000 videos that we've delivered in 9 years freely, no charge. Enjoy those who have been pivotal in the Earth's collective most organic timelines. Thank you for being you. Thank you for understanding this content. Have fun. Have a beautiful weekend. And I'll see you not this Friday, next Friday. And I'll see you around though. Go follow me on my social media. Subscribe to my newsletter so you're up to date, because I'm always communicating daily different data that we're communicating over to you, or what we got going on in our Rising Phoenix Mystery School Wellness Center. Love you, honor you, respect you. See you next time. Whatever way you found me, you are here because you're meant to come here to the Chicago Rising Phoenix Mystery School Wellness Center. Come meet me. Come. You'll love it. You'll love it. Join us every 4 months when I host the retreats. Let me know if you have any questions, write in the comments.